Hey everyone, welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And today we're going to be discussing Henry Cavill and how he finally decides to open up about the new Superman rumors. There's been a lot of rumors floating around regarding Superman and whether he's going to be coming back or not. And let's just keep in mind that Henry Cavill himself really wants to return to the role, so at least there is that amount of enthusiasm coming out from the actor. He's really excited to come back, at least, and it's a matter of when, because the last time we saw them together, or at least we saw Superman, was in Batman v Superman and Justice League. That was back in like 2016 and 2017 or so. But we haven't seen anything since. No official announcements on whether Warner Brothers wants to make a Man of Steel 2, aside from the fact that they are going to be focusing on the Superman character because they've decided to ditch the Supergirl character altogether and just get back on focusing on the Superman character. And aside from that, let's go ahead and talk about Henry Cavill and see what he has to say about the topic and the rumors that a lot of fans are discussing. So here we have an article from Superhero Hype. It says here that Henry Cavill finally opens up about the Superman rumors. Last May, DCEU fans were treated to some good news when various outlets reported that Henry Cavill was currently in negotiations with Warner Brothers to reprise his iconic role as Superman. However, in a new interview with Variety via comingsoon.net, Cavill addressed recent reports regarding his possible return to the DCEU, confirming it as speculation since conversations about the subject aren't taking place. The amount of speculation, the stuff I read on the internet, is extraordinary and sometimes frustrating, Cavill said. It's when you see people stating stuff as fact, like, no, that's not the case, that hasn't happened, and that conversation isn't happening. I mean, I can understand from Cavill's standpoint that, yes, it is frustrating because, I gotta say, we as people and in human nature do tend to get frustrated when we don't get the answers that we want. And when that's the case, we just become infuriated. We like to see facts. We like to know the truth. We really desperately need answers. And I think that in itself is just how human nature is. When we don't get what we expect or when we don't get what we want, we just become infuriated in many ways, whether that be internally or externally. And I can understand where Cavill is coming from. But nonetheless, I think he's very excited. So let's go on and move on with the topic here. Even though his return as the Man of Steel far from certain, he again reiterated his desire to be able to be given the chance to play the character again. But the important thing is that people are excited about it, and I think it's important to be excited about a character like Superman. Superman is a fantastic character. If people are chatting about it, and even if they're making stuff up, it's okay, because that means that they want to see the character again. And in an ideal world, I would absolutely love to play the character again. Now, people are just speculating at this point. You know, they're coming up with stories, they're coming up with all sorts of ideas. So the interest of the Superman character is still there. And I'm actually personally excited about it because I really wanted to see Henry Cavill return as Superman. Personally, I like his portrayal as Superman, and I like other actors' portrayals of Superman as well, such as the one from the TV series and Supergirl. I'm not a fan of the Supergirl TV series, but the actor that plays Superman in that show, I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank. Pardon me if I do draw a blank here. But I liked his portrayal as well. And I also liked Henry Cavill's portrayal as Superman as well. And I really am looking forward to see that character explored furthermore. And I want to see more stories about this character, Superman, explored on the big screen as well, because I really like his portrayal. I personally, for me, Henry Cavill's performance of the Superman character is reminiscent of like the Superman animated series and the comics book, specifically, you know, Rebirth and the New 52 and stuff like that. So moving forward here, though Cavill had reportedly departed the role in 2018, he has said in interviews since that he hadn't give up on the role and was very grateful for his time as the Man of Steel and was ready to take on the mantle once again should the opportunity arise, and now it appears he's ready to return, though it's currently unclear as to the extent of his new work, whether it be for the upcoming Snyder Cut of Justice League or for future films. Cavill's first appearance in the role in the start to the DCEU of Man of Steel, followed by 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and 2017's Justice League, which was the inciting point for his potential exit from the role after reshoots caused a rift between the studio and the star as it conflicted with his work on Paramount Pictures' Mission Impossible Fallout. He was set to appear in future DCEU films, including a cameo in David F. Sandberg's Shazam, but after being let go from the role, one of his stunt doubles stepped in for him instead without the face of the character being shown. In the meantime, Henry Cavill has been hard at work leading Netflix's popular fantasy series adaptation of The Witcher. Go check it out, it's a really good show, which is currently gearing up to restart production on the second season. Based on the best-selling fantasy series, The Witcher is an epic tale of fate and family. Geralt of Rivia, a solitary monster hunter, struggles to find his place in the world where people often prove more wicked than beasts. But when destiny hurtles him toward a powerful sorceress and a young princess with a dangerous secret, the three must learn to navigate the increasingly volatile continent together. That's pretty much it. I'm pretty excited for the Superman character to return. What are your thoughts on Henry Cavill wanting to return? Are you as enthusiastic as the actor himself? Now, there was this whole bit thing happening where for the longest time, Henry Cavill was not part of any potential future Superman projects. There were news, covering this story. I even personally covered it myself, where it was announced that Henry Cavill was not going to be Superman anymore, but some people were telling me otherwise or stating that he still wanted to be the character. He still wanted to play it. Like, he's not done. And at that time, when it was announced that he was no longer the character, I couldn't find any articles, validating that, where it states that he still wanted to play the character. That's just me. But if we were to get another Superman movie, like a Man of Steel sequel, what stories would you like to see come to fruition on the big screen? Perhaps we can get a Man of Tomorrow storyline, Kingdom Come, or anything like that of the sorts. I mean, I'm not incredibly versatile with the Superman stories or lore, but I do know some of the lore, but I'm not exactly, as well versed in the Superman, stories. The most popular ones I know are the Kingdom Come and Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and Superman for the Man Who Has Everything. It's actually one of my personal favorite stories, which was actually portrayed in a Justice League episode back in the day when it used to air on Toonami Cartoon Network. That was actually a really cool storyline that they implemented in the Justice League series. I would like to see that on the big screen as well. There's also Superman Red Sun, which an animated series for it came out recently. The Kingdom Come, like I mentioned before, and then there's the Superman for All Reasons and Birthright. All right, this is just an edit. I know that Superman Birthright is an updated origin story for Superman, Man of Steel. It's a story for about Superman that takes place in the 21st century. So I'm just saying, I would like to see this version play out on the big screen as well. I just thought I should just edit that in. Let's continue on with the story. Those are just to name a few. I would like to see a few of those stories be, represented on the big screen. And I would also like to see a Superman versus a Shazam, perhaps a fight scene like that, or Superman versus Black Adam, which supposedly would be in the works with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Henry Cavill returning in the role as Superman. But those are just a few ideas and a few stories to name a few. What are your thoughts? What stories would you like to see represented on the big screen? Do you think Henry Cavill should return as the character? How long will Henry Cavill remain interested in the Superman role? Because time is already moving on, and back in 2018, it was announced that he was out of the role, but still wanted to remain as the character. And remember, Henry Cavill is not getting any younger, so he needs to return as the role of Superman as soon as possible. So I guess the most that he can do right now is to stay in shape, continue to work out, to at least keep his figure, and that way he can remain as the Superman character. But what are your thoughts, guys? Let me know down below. Comment down below. What stories do you want to see presented on the big screen? Should Henry Cavill remain as Superman? If you were to pick another actor to portray as a Superman character, who would you pick? At this point for me, I can't see anybody else playing the Superman character because I think Henry Cavill is a solid choice for the role of Superman. It's like any other actor who's portrayed any other superhero on the big screen, like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans as Captain America, for example. You can't really see any other actor portraying those characters because they've done it so well. And when you think about those characters, honestly, those actors come to mind. So anyways, let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on bell notifications so you all don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.